Today is February the 15th, 2021. This is the Service Heroes Show 365 Days of Awesome. Celebrate success through service. My name is Tamara Hunter and I am your host. This is the show where we share inspiring stories of those that are inspiring others. So let's do this. Today, we are going to make the case that Carlotta Taylor is truly a service hero. Many of you know her. I met her a little while ago, a few days ago, wink, wink, in Chicago, and we'll talk about that. However, what it is that this woman has been doing and who she is and what she is doing to inspire others to keep that domino effect going, well, I know by the time we are done with this hour and honoring this amazing service hero, you will all agree with me that she truly deserves the title. So, welcome, Carlotta. How are you today?
I'm doing amazing. How are you, Tamara? How are you?
I'm doing great. Now, I understand that, like many others, that you are experiencing some weather where you're at.
Absolutely. The roads are icy over here. I'm actually iced in at my mom's, but it's all good. I get to spend a lot of great time with my mother.
You
And
know what a treasure. What a treasure is that? And we'll be talking about that. Helene, want to welcome those that have shown up. Helene is one of our ambassadors for the nonprofit, and she welcomes everyone, including all the buddies that show up. Thank you, Helene, for all that you do. And Caroline Beverzins is not only one of our senior ambassadors, she also is the production assistant for the show. Thank you for making sure that we are live on the E360 TV platform. Of course, we want all of you to remember to go get on all your smartphones the E360 TV app. You're going to want to, especially after today, because you're going to find out that there's a double whammy involved. Actually, triple whammy. And we're going to talk about that too. And so, snow day, love it. Yes, Helene is in Texas, and she was even showing pictures of the show. Snow, James, glad that you're with us today. And, so what we're going to do is we're going to be sharing what you are up to and how you are inspiring so many. And the way I decided to start this off is actually with some of your own information. So we're actually going to start it this way to get the ball rolling, as they say.
Carlotta Taylor is an international certified speaker, trainer, and coach.
But oftentimes, it's not the big things that get us off course, it's the things that we do daily.
And the author of the book, No More Flinching, 5 Steps to Overcoming Adversity. Carlotta Taylor is the founder and executive director of Somebody Step In, a nonprofit organization which mentors, counsels, and assists foster youth with moving forward in life in a positive and healthy manner. You will also definitely want to get her book, No More Flinching, where she talks about her reaction she had right before her father oftentimes punched her in the face, until one day, it all stopped. She didn't flinch anymore. More importantly, she learned how to truly forgive her father. Book Carlotta Taylor to speak at your next event for a powerful and life-changing experience through Somebody Step In, Inc. And get her book at www.carlottataylor.com.
Your story is absolutely incredible. I got to see you speak when you were one of the 2 MCs during the day at the Stand Mansion in Chicago Land, Illinois, during the whole Next Impactor extravaganza. I mean, that day was from the very beginning to the day until the end, was probably one of the most beautiful events that I've attended. And I'm not just talking the sparkle and the glamour and the beautiful building. It was the beautiful souls that were there, the people that with purpose from all over the world coming together to make a difference for our world. You being one of them, front and center. What attracted you to that opportunity? Is it your story? Is it, it, because I'm starting there because you impacted me.
Oh.
You impacted me hearing what it is. And the more and more I've gotten to know you and know of you, your story is, I mean, we're going to probably see it in a movie someday, I would think.
But thank you so much, Tamara.
You're welcome.
What drew me to that event, the Next Impactor, which was full of amazing, incredible people like yourself, and I'm so glad you were the winner. I was at an event in Cleveland, Ohio, earlier that year, and it was called the Purple Project. Shout out to Latasha C. Watts, that's my sister, that's my business partner. And I happened to meet a gentleman by the name of Lauren Harris. And he just pretty much, I gravitated to his story because he had a history of overcoming the pitfalls of being in and out of foster care. And his story was so amazing. So we connected there and stayed in touch. I even took a few sessions with him, and I was invited to be a part of the Next Impactor. And that's where I was able to meet so many great impactors all across the world, including yourself. So thank you for that.
Well, you're welcome. And we're having a little bit of a buzzing noise. And so we'll try to fix that even if I have to mute one of the two of us while we're talking. We'll get through it. Thank you, Helene. Yes, and everybody. We want to try to make this work, and please forgive the lack of, if you will, some of the equipment, because remember, Carlotta was iced in, and thank you, Carlotta, for being the example and the service hero truly that you're being right now, because there were people that were in a few days ago an iced situation on a freeway in Texas that it didn't end up so well, and there were so many people that were actually hurt, and if not, gained their wings from that ICE event. And so the more and more responsible people that we have sharing and showing to be responsible, even though it might not always be comfortable or even convenient, it is the very best thing that we can do. So thank you for that example. And so we're just going to deal with the sound, guys. And okay, so we can't hear you. Are you hearing me right now? Can't hear you. Let me know if you're hearing me right now. You can hear Carlotta. Are you hearing me? So this is the fun. We're going to go to another video during this time and figure this out.
I am so excited to be able to share with you just a little bit of my story. You are important, and I am honored to be speaking to you today, each and every one of you. My name is Carlotta Taylor. I'm a speaker, author, trainer, coach, and podcast host. And I can just throw all those titles to the side. At the end of the day, I'm just a person who is willing to be of service, who wants to add value to other people's lives. I'm going to give you a little snippet of my life and show you how I changed my mindset. I went from the back seat of a car that I was not controlling called life to the driver's side. And now I operate 100% as an entrepreneur and a person who is living out my goals and my dreams. It's not easy to get to that point. The first step is knowing that it doesn't have to start with you being a certain age. Yes, that's right. Even you right now, in your youth, you have brilliant ideas that you should definitely write down. Brilliant ideas that you can build upon. And each year that you live in life, you can always grow and add value to those ideas. When I was growing up, I grew up a child who was abused, in and out of shelters, in and out of foster care. And that life was horrible. I really thought that I would never, ever, 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 I thought I would never make it through. Things were told to me that I just believed. Things were done to me. There were evil, hardcore things. But there was a time where I grew up and I learned to forgive and let go. And I learned that my circumstances and what happened to me did not have to define how I responded to life. I learned to forgive, let go, and yes, I went through my share of working jobs here and there trying to figure it out. And I actually thought that law enforcement was just my calling. But after about 15 years of law enforcement, police officer, child protection detective, homicide investigator, federal police officer, I decided that there was more to my life than just working the job. So yeah, that's right, me. I turned in my 2 weeks notice on Friday the 13th, 2018, February. No, that was April, Friday the 13th, that's right. And I just dove off into it. I knew that there was a book inside of me, and guess what? Yes, you guessed it. I went ahead and published my book, No More Flinching. And then I took it another step further. I knew I was born to inspire. I was born to add value to people's lives. I'm that person that people go to when they say, well, Carlotta, I don't know what's going on. I don't know how to make it through. I'm that person who will coach you to let you know that you were strong enough to make it past your breaking points. What was meant to take you out, you can turn it around for your good.
Turn it around for your good. And we're going to see if we can make it work with our sound too. And Michelle, so glad you're with us, Michelle Mraz. And we are having a little sound issues, but it's all good because we are punting today. We have a service hero that made some decisions because of ice on the roads and the ice storms to be safe rather than to get back to her studio. And so we are having a few issues, but we're gonna make it work. And I love the fact that and it always works out to be perfect because this way we were able to paint through your own words and through your own materials some you've had quite a story and you I love the way you paint it because you really do paint what could be the victim card a lot and I mean you do talk about things but you really spin it the way that I like to see it where there's so much hope in the world we can impact the world and I love it when you were saying even about and I was thinking it depends on where you sit right I'm thinking oh good age doesn't matter and then you go to the young and I'm thinking it doesn't matter for anyone right and so thank you in regards to that so where I want to go now you talked about it twice in the two different videos you have the book and I'm going to bring up the image right here I'm going to bring it up and share screen so we can see it your book talks about the title is so when you say it that no more flinching and you stop flinching with your father hitting you in the face and I know because you've talked about this before he hit you not just every once in a while it was ongoing and then you chose to forgive him and move on can you share with us and right now I want you to share where you're at because there's some people that have come in and they didn't hear you where you're at so why don't you share and we're gonna have this be a little longer segment where I'll go mute and then she'll come on mic and then we'll do it that way and so that and so you just run with it right now Carlotta
All right, outstanding. So thank you so much, Tamara, for this amazing opportunity. I'm so excited I get to share on the Service Hero with the awesome Tamara Hunter, okay? And in regards to the video that was just recently played, I was actually talking to young CEOs, like young entrepreneurs. So that's why I started and led with saying that it doesn't matter your age. And it really doesn't matter your age, whether you're young or seasoned. I'll use that word, okay? I'm currently in Clinton, Mississippi. And I'm grateful to be at my mom and pop's house. Now, my pops is my bonus father, and I'm iced in, but it's all good over here. Grateful to be able to spend time with family. And just a little bit about my story, No More Flinching. Before No More Flinching was an actual book, it was my life. And it's really a past life. It's nothing that I really don't lead with No More Flinching. It's just a part of my story. I don't look back to the abuse and being in and out of shelters to make me feel like, oh my gosh, that's where I came from. No, that's just what I went through. That was a process. That was pressure. That was the making of Carlotta Taylor. Now, when it comes to my father, he was a young father, around 19 or 20 years old, and he really didn't have what he needed at the time to be a father. He was in a bad place himself and really a young teenager. So there's no shots to him, and we have gotten over the hump. But I remember as early from the age of 2, I remember just being blissful and happy living with my grandparents and my parents in Southfield, Michigan. And I remember moving from Michigan to Mississippi. And around the age of 5, I remember when the abuse first started happening. I remember just being really sad, depressed. I remember feeling like I was not enough, not even understanding or knowing anything about self-esteem. That's a word that I'm just now hearing, in the 2000s. But back in the day, I didn't know what that was. I didn't know the feeling, the emptiness that I had inside. I used to feel that I had been kidnapped by my parents because my father would sometimes take clothes and he would stuff the door baseboards and the window sills with clothes to meet the house. So where you could walk by the house, you could drive by the house, and you wouldn't hear the screams coming in from the abuse that was happening on the inside with me and my 2-year younger brother, who's like a big brother to me, Carl Taylor. But we pretty much endured the abuse a lot. We would be hit about the face, kicked in the stomach, hit with boards upside our heads, told we would be nothing when we got older. Yeah, that's my brother right there, Carl Taylor and Carlotta Taylor, okay? We went through a lot together. It was he and I who went in and out of foster care. It was he and I who was in a foster care home. So I want you to imagine this, okay? So the Child Protective Services, right? They remove you from the home where the abuse is, and then they place you in the shelter awaiting a foster care home to open up. And then when a foster care home opens up by way of a foster parent who's willing to take in outside children, who get stipends for being that example of, hey, I will accept you in my home. But then when we get in that home, everything is all peachy and cream in front of the social worker. And as soon as the social worker leaves, it's like it goes from day to night, just like that. And we found ourselves riding on the back of a truck. And Miss Hattie Hawk was her name. And she would drive that truck to the back of a grocery store. And she would tell them, hey, I need to feed my hogs. So I need the slop, whatever trash you have, the leftovers from grocery stores. This is the country. I don't even know I know we were in Mississippi. I don't know what city, but they would just dump over piles and piles of garbage, right? Old food, molded food. And she would take it, put it inside of barrels. And we would ride the back of that truck back to her farm because Miss Hattie Hawk had a farm. And before she decided to pull and pour that barrel of food that was mixed with some good food, expired food, molded food, mushed all together, she would say, okay, now, y'all get y'all food. This what y'all finna eat. So we literally had to go through the hog slop and pick out our food. And she would dump it over and feed the hogs after we got first pickings. But what is this doing to a young mind? You know, when you're going and living that type of life, and then you go to school and get bullied by your peers. So it's like I didn't have an out. I didn't like being around people. I didn't like talking. I was often the quiet one in the room. I made C's, D's, and F's. I don't even know how I passed up until the eighth grade because I was flunking out. But I believe my teachers, counselors, social workers, they kind of felt sorry for me because they saw the black eyes, they saw the busted lips, they saw my, ear pus running out the side of my ear from getting hit in the head to where it busted my eardrums, right? And that was my life for a long period of time. I even tried to attempt to commit suicide by the age of 12. But lo and behold, God had a plan for me. And of course, he spared my life. And he knew that I would be here doing what I'm doing today. And I'm just so grateful to be in this space to share.
I can't even say how grateful I am that you are in this space to share too for a variety of different reasons. This show again is the show that shares inspiring stories of those that are inspiring others, and everyone out there I'm sure right now is understanding when I say that I remember sitting in the audience and having an opportunity to hear some of this when I'm in the front row and I'm listening to this powerhouse of a woman that is talking in such an amazing way. That event, I'm going to bring up the two of you. That event, it was a co-hosting situation, and both of you, unbelievable talent, unbelievable spirit, unbelievable stories, the cream of the crop. And that was daytime, guys. I mean, this event, I have to again hats off to Lauren Harris and Jeff Levine and all of those that made this the next impactor challenge, and then the huge gala event, day and night. They went all out and they brought together the people that really epitomized what it is that this was all about. So you now, I love watching this, and I did, I think I did remember, yet I didn't put the dates together until just like recently. Here you are, you, and when you're talking about the school situation too, you get the C's, D's, and F's. You then some way somehow decide and you go get a bachelor's. You don't stop there. You go get a master's. And then you decide you're going to go into law enforcement, and you just don't stop at any one of the steps. You keep going from this to that to this to that. And then again, you decided that you could do more and you take another leap of faith. And I love it. Friday the 13th, a 2 week notice, 2 week notice from a career to say, I can do more. Let's go there, because right now, like you said, I knew I had a book in me. So many people can relate to that. Yet, oftentimes that's where it stays. I know I have a book in me. And that goes on and on and on and on until I knew I had a book in me. However, someone's going to have to write about me because I'm about to gain my rings. You decided to take that leap of faith. How, explain to us. And guys that are coming on right now, I want you to know we're having a little bit of a challenge with our sound, and so we're working it right now where I'm taking a little time and she's taking a little time. So I'm going to allow now for you to just kind of explore with us. What was it that got you to go into school? The career, an amazing career. And I bet, that's probably when you found the impetus also for your nonprofit. All of it together. So why don't you share with us about all of that?
Amazing. I'm so happy to share, Tamara. So I must say, yes, I had the idea of writing a book for a very long time. Back in high school, when I first shared my story with some of my closest friends at the time, Waukesha Mason and Tomise Thomas, but she's Lanier now, Tomise Lanier, and they cried and they supported me, and I knew then one day I was going to share, and I didn't know how. I didn't know it would be by way of a book. As life went on, I'm gonna tell you this. The thought came to me, I have a story, and I knew I had a story. But when you look to your left and your right, and you're watching inspirational videos, and you're getting inspired by other people who are just crushing the stage, and everybody is gravitating towards them, and it's like, wow, they're so awesome, right? And then I'm thinking, you know what? My story doesn't compare to theirs. Oh my gosh, like I could never write a book because I'm no author. And so those are the things I told myself, and I just kind of let it be like a sitting duck for a long time. And I had to build up the courage and the understanding, first and foremost, that, we're not here to compare our stories. We're not here to say whose story is heavier or whose story is lighter and whose story is the most impactful. Because the truth is, every person's story is impactful. Everybody has their own tribe, and everybody is not for everybody. And so when we stay in our own lane and we identify and attach ourselves to our true purpose, that is when we become free to know we can do it. So that was my process. And I decided to, start taking those little steps. And over 10 years ago, before the book was even published, I can tell you, I started writing. I started brainstorming, not even really knowing that it would one day be complete and published. I was just kind of hoping. But I would say I put the pen to the pad, but I didn't. I put my hands to the keyboards on my laptop, okay? And I started typing up. What would I like chapter 1 to be in chapter 2 and chapter 3, and what would the title be? And I had all of that laid out. And then when it came time to actually getting in serious gear, all of that kind of like went to the side. It really helped me understand that, this is what I can do. But when I really got in alignment to know that I was ready to do this and I was serious about it, and now I'm going from just talking about it to actually making it happen, then everything just started gravitating. All the ideas came. And then right before the book published is when the title actually came to play. So I had another title for No More Flinching, and it turns out to, God just worked that thing all the way out. I would just inspire anyone, if you know you have a story, which everybody does, just go ahead and get it done. It can happen for you. I went from being a person who was I call myself a professional quitter. Everything that I would put my mind to, I would want to do it. Think about doing it. Try to do it. Those things do not cause you to have action. Trying is not getting it done. If you want to get it done, I say don't start tomorrow. Don't start on the 1st of March. Don't start in mid-year or the 1st of next year. Start today. There's always something you can do today. Back in 2014 is when I first established my charity for Somebody Step In nonprofit. And that name might sound kind of weird to you, but that's the name that the divine, my spirit inside said, that's what the name of your nonprofit is. I was minding my own business at home, and I said, how can I give back? What is my purpose? What do I need to do? And it fell on my spirit. God allowed me to be awakened to know that, Carlotta, I did not bring you through being moved around 26 times in and out of foster care, in and out of homes, in and out of shelters, okay, from bouncing around from one school to the next, just to say that's what I went through and keep it on hush and silent and keep it in. No, there's somebody else out there who's going through the same thing, if not worse, maybe not, but it's something about my story that can inspire them, that they too can make it and reach beyond their breaking points and know that it doesn't matter what happened to them. It's all about what comes out of them. It's kind of weird, but the making of a diamond is to add pressure, and the making of the ultimate you. It's really not other people pressuring you on the outside, but it's about how you pressure yourself on the inside to know that you came here to get the job done. So I decided to start pressuring myself on the inside, not the outside. It's all about what's on the inside of you that matters. It's about the inner beauty that flows and shines through that makes your outer beauty even more impactful. So I just want to really share, if you know you have a nonprofit, but like me, back in 2014, I just started reaching out, seek help, seek other people, partner with other organizations. People are out here like me, willing to share and help with anything we have to help you go out there and make it great. Do your very best, and it can happen for you. 2014 started out as a charity. I believe back in 2019, that's when somebody stepped in, became a 501c3. And so I'm just so excited. The first thing that we did to give back, one of the first things was when we held in 2019 a toy drive. We partnered with Canopy. See the partnership right there. We partnered with Canopy Children's Solutions, right? And somebody stepped in, had a way, and even partnered with Rob Shear and his organization, Comfort Cases, right? And we were able to gift. We were able to gift these young foster kids and children who've been separated from their parents Christmas gifts. And would you believe that those children said that that was the best Christmas they ever had, Tamara? The best Christmas they ever had, all because of an idea. So you never know how impactful your work can be. You can really change the world, but we don't do it by trying to take on the world all in one bite. We do it one step at a time and one connection at a time.
And we're going to try right now with the sound. And guys, let us know how it's going. However, and I love what you just shared about here and now, today. If you feel like you've got something, start today. Because that first step sometimes is that most difficult step. And I love your logo because of even the fact that it has the shoes on it, like baby steps, somebody steps, someone step in. Let's do this. And I love the fact that the shoes are going, opposite directions. It only takes one foot to start. And it can always be that the direction may not even be perfect. However, start with whatever foot you've got ready to start. And if you're right-footed, but you start with the left foot, so be it. You've started. And I love the message. I love it so very much, and how absolutely true. And yes, an inspiring story. That's awesome. And she is truly inspiring, isn't she? Okay, so the jig is up, guys. Yes, I said also to get your phones out, and that there was going to be a double whammy because of the E360. Yes, Carlotta has her own show, and it's actually on the Positive Vibration channel with this show. So guys, when you're going to go to your on your smart device, go to the App Store, get E360 TV, looks like clouds, and go to Positive Vibrations. You will see this beautiful woman there with the red and the black, and I mean, it stands out beautiful inside and out. Support her show, support E360 TV, because all of the shows there, start checking it out. I love the show name. You get to the heart of the matter. Okay, so before I allow you to start talking about this, okay guys, I don't want to sound like mom or anything, but I am one, and an attitude, and proud of it. So I'm having some fun here, because what Carlotta is doing is helping to change the world. And so, to understand that is to understand who she is. So I'm going to share something right now, and we're going to talk some more.
Thank Thank you for tuning in with us every Thursday at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. About our host, Carlotta Taylor is not just a survivor of child abuse, but has grown into what we come to know as our personal thriver against all odds, who no longer flinches at adversity, but overcomes with authority. Carlotta decided to find the courage to say yes to herself. Miss Taylor has piece by piece faced her biggest adversary, the brokenness, and healed not only herself, but has also affected thousands through her outreach and influence. Carlotta Taylor is the author of the best-selling book, No More Flinching. Getting to the heart of the matter has always been what Carlotta is about. To keep in touch, text Carlotta to 888-111. It's time for the show to begin. It wouldn't be the same without you, because this is the place people bond worldwide, sharing powerful stories, prevailing over adversity. The heart of the matter is the people's joy. Now, turn your attention to our host, Carlotta Taylor, as the show begins.
COVID-19. That's what the world knows today as the epidemic. But the real epidemic is cancer. When I say the word cancer, how does that make you feel? Does someone come to mind? I know my grandmother comes to mind. She lost her life to cancer over a few decades ago. Today, there's a woman who is not just a victim and not just a survivor of cancer, but she's a champion. And she's bringing people together all across the globe. She has a powerful story. It's Tamara Hunter. Please welcome her as she comes to the stage.
Wow.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful in so many different ways. I love everything about what you're doing with your show, and then what a strong presence you start right from the very beginning, and then it gets people engaged and wanting to hear more. And so I really do want. I told you guys, you want to get the E360 TV app and support her show. Go check it out. And of course, go like and share the show that I was on, yes, and find out more about what we had to say, because she's excellent at getting you to talk and sharing your heart and really getting to the heart of the matter. One of the things I want to bring up, because it's kind of the elephant in the room, is, okay, you have this amazing look, amazing presence. And I really want, because inspiring stories of those that are inspiring others, maybe some have catched this so far. However, we have different looks in our dear Carlotta. And you actually, on your social media, you shared where you came from. I thought, man, you are brave. You're brave. It's out there. It's public. And you shared where you came from and where you are now. Again, inspiring others that no matter what, abuse, needing to change the way of looking at academics, career. I have a book. Let's do this. I want to make a difference. Let's just do it. Let's figure it out. And I want to get healthy and empower myself that way. That's inspiring to so many, especially right now. I know a few people that are, it's almost like the joke. Okay, so what's your COVID number? You know, the COVID-10, COVID-15, the COVID-20, you know, like how much have they gained, you know, because so many people have been sitting, not getting out, not doing what they normally did. Why don't we go there and then go into your next projects, because you're all over the place.
Wow. Thank you so much, Tamara, for that. Just amazing content that you're rolling out here. And yes, I'm all about overcoming. all about pushing through, getting to our higher self, best self. And it starts with me, of course, because I am the master of my own fate, and God has allowed me and given me and equipped me with everything I need. So tapping into all of the awesomeness that I have inside is just amazing. So when I, as a keynote speaker, all right, I remember taking the stage in 2018. And I remember just being on stage, and I was really uncomfortable with my clothing because, when your mixed section is busting out and overlapping your pants and things like that, it's kind of like it was messing with my security. And I was like, I want to be my best self in everything I do, not just with the content that I provide, not just with having a best-selling book, No More Flinching, not just with giving a powerful keynote speech, but when people see me, I want the outside to match the inside. I want them to not be just looking at my midsection, but really listening to the words that I have to say. And I'm just so excited. One day I was just happened to be sitting on my sofa at home, minding my own business, scrolling through social media. How many of y'all can say you ever just, take a minute to just kind of scroll through social media? And I happened to run across a post by Robert Williams. And I noticed that he made a post about he and his wife, Diana Williams. And I was like, whoa, what do they have going on? And so I just jumped in the DMs. Long story short, I learned that Diana Williams and her husband, Robert Williams, were starting their own business, partnering with a powerful woman by the name of Coach Stormy Wellington. And then all this great stuff about all natural products, CBD. And I was like, I want that. And within 2 weeks of being on the products, within 3 days of being on these amazing products with Total Life Changes, I was down 9 pounds. And I was like, whoa. And so that was pretty much the start of my journey. Tamara, thank you for opening that up and allowing me to tap in there. But we all want to be our best self. It's all about also not just getting the work done, not just working with our heads down, but also what good is it if we do all this work and do all these awesome things, but we're sick inside and we're not taking care of ourselves? Shout out to you, Tamara, for being that go-getter, that powerhouse. You've had cancer, now you overcame. Your story is so amazing. So honored to have you on the show, but that's what it's all about. Not just doing the work, but also being healthy with all natural products. Shout out to Red Sea Action, my amazing team. Y'all know I'm a heart. I'm nothing without the team. So I'm so amazed there. And just being that inspirational factor. And yes, I was really nervous, Tamara, to share that picture, that before and after transformation. But that one picture, it's not just about products. That one picture of my before and after, there's many components. Okay, read between the lines. There's many components that that picture is displaying there. Total Life Changes is the seed. But also my heart is also another seed. My team is also another seed. My amazing upline, Diana Williams, is also another seed. And by way of everything working together, that picture is a picture of me elevating with the products, elevating with working out, elevated by having additional income to do the things that I really, truly, I've always wanted to do. So that picture is saying a lot. It's saying a lot. And it's also like, you can do it too if you're in that situation where you're not comfortable with your body, with your finances, with where you are in life. Guess what? You have the power. And sometimes when we hold on to things and we're gripping them so tight and we're so afraid, but all the while you're like this, but you cannot receive. And when we open up, it's like God is saying, okay, now you can give, but guess what? Now you can also receive. And so just putting yourself in a great place to be able to do that. So if you're in that boat, if you would like to reach out to me for your health and wellness products, for more information, definitely hit me up in the DMs or text Carlotta to 888-1111, or even, just follow me. We're right here on the page. We're on the show, E360 Tamara Hall. I said Hall, Hunter. My bad, Hunter. Maybe you're going to have your own show on TV too, coming soon, Tamara, okay? But just definitely reach out to me.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And in fact, okay, so right now, before we go too much further into and start to lose any time, you also are really, really rocking it. And I need this week. I'm getting an iPad finally. I don't have any Apple products, and it was like I'm hearing so many amazing things about. Let's get this, and so it's the right format here. We just had a little bit of a let me just do this. One of the fun things about live is that we are live. And, when you are running the digital show, there you go. Okay, here we go. Okay, so first of all, amazing image. Oh my gosh, I love this image. It's incredible. Okay, so leadership after dark in the clubhouse. Clubhouse is like the thing for anybody that is involved in, anything having to do with social media, business, leadership, thought leaders, influencers that you want to learn anything uplifting and you want to maybe even learn anything new. That's what I'm learning. I haven't been in yet because I need the right equipment. However, what's going on with all of this with you?
Well, Leadership After Dark is really a spinoff from my Mastermind with Carlotta. So with Mastermind with Carlotta, I've been hosting masterminds ever since I was certified as a speaker, author, well, not author, but speaker and coach and trainer with the John Maxwell team. And one of the first things they said was just do something, start now, and add value. Add value. And so I started the mastermind. And the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth was one of the first books that I started led with the mastermind. And so it was just a compilation of, okay, this next book, and it just continues to grow. Right now, we are reading the Developing the Leader Within You by John C. Maxwell every Thursday at noon. So if you want to join my mastermind, it's free of charge. It's just a way for me to give back. And so many amazing leaders are in that group. It's called Mastermind with Carlotta. You can look that up on Facebook and just hit join or, and I'll accept your invite. So in that, just knowing what an awesome, amazing impactor John Maxwell, shout out to the John Maxwell team, always talking about leadership, always about next level. And leadership is really a good thing. You will not get better in leadership if you don't tap in and do the work behind leadership. And that's for anybody with any business and anything. You don't even have to have your own business. You can be an employee and still learn about leadership. So then there was a spinoff from, I have some amazing leaders that I am in connection with, networking with. And so we have an amazing panel, and the panel might change here and there. It's nothing set in stone, but it's about bringing forth leadership, getting ideas of how to be the best leader. Having conversations about leadership, just some after dark kind of conversations. We're people with real lives, but at the same time, we want to add value and we want to learn and grow. So sometimes we even interview amazing leaders out there in the world, kicking tail, doing their thing. Like we had Juan Cloy, who's an amazing leader in the law enforcement industry, and he came and just shut it down on the show. We just have different things. And so tonight on Clubhouse, that's right, party time. Come on now. Tonight on Clubhouse, you can follow me at Carlotta Taylor on Clubhouse, and you will see you can get the notification. Make sure you click the bell and set it to always. So anytime I'm hosting a room on any topic, you will be able to get the notification. We would love for you all to join us tonight. And yes, you're so right about Clubhouse. Clubhouse is where it's at. So much rich content, so much content that you're looking for, and some of you are paying or overpaying for fees, services, but they're giving the content for free on Clubhouse right now, so you can take that content and actually use it. And so tonight at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, definitely be on Clubhouse. Follow me. We would love to have you in the room with Leadership After Dark. You can come and ask questions of any of the leaders on the flyer, or you could come and add value to Leadership After Dark. Thank you so much for having me share that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, you're inspiring others. Again, this is a platform right now. I don't don't know if it will change. However, right now, yes, the element here is that you're getting actual information, and all you have to do is show up. Wow, that's inspiring. So there's no obstacles in it except for just the equipment, and that's one I'm having to overcome, and I'm in the process of overcoming it so I can go in. It's important for us if it's important for you out there. And so again, another way to be able to be inspired by our service hero today. Also, you are an entrepreneur, and yes, I was bringing that up. That the article, I didn't have the John Maxwell paper or image here, but I do know that hats off for that. You went to the top and got all this. Not only are you a bachelor, not only a master's, but you're also certified by one of the very top and most reputable groups out there. That says a lot. Okay, so a top entrepreneur that you need to know about. Okay, now I'm going to go here because I love this. This image is, okay, guys, do you remember this other image? Oh, and those boots. Oh, can we just talk? And so much fun. And all right, here we are. Here, I'm just kind of going through it real quick because I want to find that one image of you where maybe I'll have to take this down, where you're holding the same product and you have the shorter hair and a whole different look. Now you got the sassy thing going on your hat, smashing the car versus, and you got the entrepreneur, guys. Take notes. Entrepreneur. Because you need to be able to present things in ways that your audience are going to find, like, I scrolled too fast. I'm going to backtrack here. That's interesting. What is it? What is it? And that's what you want. You want to get that, what is it? Right? You want to catch their attention. You are doing it, my friend. You are doing it. Let's talk about that as we start to close, or whatever else you're doing, that's your next ventures that you want to share with us. And so we can be watching, because guys, I hope you're taking notes, because this woman is on fire and she is doing it. And if you want to be watching someone doing it while they're doing it and and learn, and she's generous to share with us what she is doing. So let's talk about that as we start to close.
Well, thank you so much. I definitely invest. Shout out to Six Figure Spy Chick, Candace Holyfield. I flew out, and even the flight was an investment, out to Miami, and just took a course on marketing. So I am still developing the best way to market my business. So everything is just really a learning process. So I just say, just do it now, seek, and ye shall find. Also, one of the next things I have coming up recently is going to be, I'm going to start a podcast talk. I won't be interviewing people on that one because I interview people on the Heart of the Matter show, but it's going to be more straight talk and inspirations from me to you. So be on the lookout for that. I would definitely add it to my link. I have a link, it's shore, SHOR.by, / Carlotta Taylor. And it pretty much will keep you up to speed on everything I have going on currently right now. So that will be added. So like I said, stay on the lookout for that. I don't know what it's going to be called yet, but it will be to be determined. And as of right now, I just say, keep going for it. Like, seek and ye shall find. If you just want, and you find yourself saying, oh, I wish this were the case, and I wish this, and I want that, and I tried this, and I tried that. Those words have no power, okay? What has power is do it now. Write it down, make it plain, and seek for ways that you can make your dreams and goals a reality. Seek, you will find. You ever heard the saying, well, if you look for it long enough, you will find it? That is the most truest statement I've ever heard. So I want you all to just go after it. I am forever a student. I may be an expert in certain areas and I might have it all going on, but anytime that I can either add more value or learn in that area of expertise, I'm still going to learn. So you have to always position yourself to go from the teacher and the student. And sometimes Yes, they say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And in that setting, oftentimes the teacher becomes the student.
Yes, as far as I'm concerned, always, always. Now, I brought this picture up before, and I want to, because of so many of our buddies being here. When you had the intro to your show, where I was the guest, you talked about your grandmother. This picture is you and your brother with your grandmother, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So you see, guys, the heart of the matter. The heart of the matter. And you had mentioned that it was, a few decades ago. And yet, we always will remember those that gained their wings, that meant something to us. And I want to share right now, and I hope that it's not that long. We've got a little bit of time, and then I'm going to give 2 seconds at the end. Or in fact, if you want to give a closing nugget right now, and then we're going to close this out, because you were there when I won the Impactor about what it is that I'm doing. I want you to see what we've done since then in a short little clip. So why don't you just give us a moment, a nugget, and then we will end with the clip.
Okay, great. One thing about my grandparents and my grandmother, Annie Lee Taylor, she just succumbed to an unlawful death, and that's what makes it so hard. And that was December 15th of 2020. All right. And one thing about Fred and Annie Taylor, my grandparents, they are my inspiration. So anytime you're going through life, you always have to have an anchor, something you hold on to that's going to give you that inspiration you need, which comes from the inside. But you got to figure it out. Don't depend on anyone else to figure it out for you. You have to figure it out for yourself. And that would be my words. Shout out to Fred and Annie Taylor. That's why I hold the name Taylor now, because it's just respect for the lineage. And so thank you so much. This has been the most fun and incredible show I've ever been on to date. Tamara, you really did the thing with all the clips and everything. Thank you so much. I can't wait to go back and catch the replay.
Well, you are welcome. And Kay, so now we're going to be ending on this note, guys. This show supports the nonprofit that I ran on the platform, of which we were talking with the next Impactor, and I want to take and create the final loop with sharing and this, and then we will be back on Wednesday to share more inspiring stories of those that are inspiring others. Bye, everyone.
Life is so fragile, and we're constantly reminded just how fragile life can be, especially when we or a loved one is told we have cancer. Cancer survivor myself, I can tell you, we still feel very alone in this journey.
There's a study that's been showing that patients who are socially isolated have a worse prognosis, have a worse outcome than patients who are socially interconnected.
Buddies for Life is a non-profit cancer support group for those whose life has been impacted by cancer. We'll match you with the perfect buddy. Humor, hope, heart, and hugs.
Humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love.
We're offering you a free membership, so please sign up today. Share this with your friends and family, and support this community in every way you can. No one should face cancer alone.
I am a chemo buddy for life.
We are a buddies network.
No one does cancer alone.
Be a buddy.
And we are all here for you as a community of love.
We are chemo buddies for life.
And if you've heard 3 words, you have cancer, for yourself or someone else, you belong with us at Chemo Buddies for Life.
Healing through connections.